Even though summer is mostly over, at least here in Finland, today's video will be how to deal with summer heat while wearing Lolita, because we all know it's not fun. For reference, here in Finland, to me, way too hot and uncomfortable weather is 25 Celsius. We rarely go to 30 here, so 25 is my do you really have to? And I know that to a lot of you that's not even much, but then again, minus 20 isn't much for me, especially since I am a winter person and I would way prefer to take minus 20 Celsius over plus 25. But heat is relative, and when I'm feeling too hot, it is annoying. So here are some of the tips that I have gathered over the years. And starting with the obvious is a petticoat. Instead of wearing a tulle or organza one, wear a hoop petticoat. This is my crappy one, I don't know where my good one is. I had temporarily misplaced it. But especially if you're going to a meetup, do not skip a petticoat. Instead, go with one of these, because they will keep the skirts away from your legs so that you get a nice breeze and it's not very heavy and itchy. But if you are wearing a hoop petticoat, especially if you're tall or your skirt is a bit shorter, you might want to wear some kind of bloomers under it. And the next is what you're wearing. And I recommend that you either go with an OP, which means that the dress already have sleeves. You might want to go with one that has short sleeves, but I don't have one, so I can't show you one. But this lets you skip the blouse completely, so you're only wearing one layer of clothing instead of two. And if you don't have an OP, then I suggest wearing a blouse and a skirt, because if you're wearing a JSK and a blouse, then you have a lot of fabric on your top part of your body, and that will again make it hotter. Or if you really want to wear a JSK, then instead of wearing a blouse, maybe wear a bolero. Again, short-sleeved, but I don't have one because I hate summer. But this will again let you skip the blouse so that you don't have the whole shirt under your dress. Instead, you have this bolero that if it gets insanely hot, you can easily take off. Instead of if you have a blouse under your dress, you're kind of stuck with it for the whole day. Yeah. As for the dress materials, you want to go with as light as possible, preferably also in color, because the darker colors you wear, the more it gathers the sun. But I chose this because it's a very lightweight chiffon. I can gather the whole skirt in a fist, so it's very light and breezy, instead of if you're wearing velvet that is really thick and hot. So you want to go with lighter fabrics. And obviously for blouse you also want something with shorter sleeves, because that is way cooler. When it comes to hair, if possible, you might want to skip wigs because they are really hot. Instead, go with your own hair. Or if you are wearing a wig, then kind of make some kind of updo so that it's away from your neck and shoulders, because that's hot. That's really hot. As a person wearing a wig right now, that's hot. When it comes to hats, they protect you from sunstroke, but they are also hot. And if you're going inside where you have to take your hat off, your hair probably doesn't look really fresh. So you want to consider if you want to wear a full hat or not. And as for leg wear, you want to skip cotton knee socks or over the knee socks, and instead go with cute ankle socks with some kind of lace, or go with some tights that have holes in them so that they're very breathable. And when it comes to accessorizing in general, you want to keep away from heavier things like wrist cuffs, because I know that they, at least for me, they feel really heavy and chunky, and when it's hot they're also very annoying. And instead go ham with jewelry. Lots of fine jewelry will be a lot easier to bear in the heat instead of big chunky things. That goes for hair accessories as well. Parasols and fans also really help you keep cooler. I would show you, but I don't have any. I gave my fan away because I hate summer, so I only wear Lolita in the summer when I really want to, or I have to, and summer here is short anyways, so I try not to spend too much money on summer things. But anyway, they really help keep you cool. And as for shoes, you want to ditch the ankle boots and go for as breathable fabrics as you can. And yeah, that was kind of it. If you're interested to see how I practice these, I have a Lolita summer lookbook in my channel if you want to check that out. I'll link it in the description box below. And that was it for this week's video, and I'll see you again next Wednesday.